Our guest today is Jan Broders. He's a life and performance coach, meditation facilitator, teacher of non-blah blah coaching, and the creator of No Biz Like Soul Biz. And I hope it's going to be more quiet during this interview, but you're in Bali, so this is what we got to deal with. We'll see.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah,
Hi,
thanks so
Jan.
much for
Nice
having
to
me.
have you.
Cool. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, you said, so you describe your teaching as non-blah blah coaching. What is that? Tell us more.
Yeah, non-blah blah coaching. Well, I wanted to come up with a really cool name, right? So that's what I came up with. But it's about non-blah blah coaching. So my coaching is not so much about speaking about certain things or just having hours of conversation, just talking. But what I like to do is to go into a meditative state pretty quickly with my clients. So basically, our my coaching is all done in meditation.
Yeah.
So we might talk about a certain topic in the beginning, say, this is what bothering me, might be in business or in private life or whatever it is. And then we go into meditation pretty quickly and we just speak about those things in a meditative state. So things are a lot slower and a lot deeper than during normal conversation. And I feel many things can be solved through just feeling certain things instead of talking them through and understanding them on a rational level. We go on an emotional level and maybe even spiritual soul level, however you want to call it. And the whole idea for me is that most of problems that we experience in our everyday life come from our mind, right? They come from thoughts, from rational, whatever. And it'd be weird to be solving them on the same level. It's like if you wanted to, if your bathroom is flooded and you just put more water in there so it gets dry and it just doesn't work. So
Yeah.
I want to be on a different level to solve those things.
That's really cool. So,
Yeah.
how did you come up with that? Like, tell us your story. How did you get there?
Yeah. So I did the whole normal high school thing. Went on to do in Germany. We have those apprenticeships where you work and you go to school at the same time. One night we were really drunk somewhere on a party, and a friend of mine came by and he said, "Well, you don't know what to do with your life, right?" I said, "Yeah, no idea." I was teaching tennis at the time, and so I was a tennis teacher, a tennis coach, and I said, "Yeah, I have no idea what to do. I wanted to go study like linguistics or so. I had no idea really. I was just some ideas." So he came up, we were drinking beer, and he said, "Well, you really need to go and work in a hotel, work for the hotel." He just started his training in a hotel. I said, "Okay, so why should I do this?" "Yeah, it's really cool. You work with international people." And I had no idea what he was talking to me. That just the next morning I woke up with a massive headache and I knew, okay, I need to be in a hotel. So I applied for hotel apprenticeships all around Germany with like the biggest hotel chain. That's what he had suggested to me. I had no idea what that hotel chain was about. So a few weeks later, I was starting the apprenticeship. And again, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And we had this big assessment center day even at the hotel where they were choosing the trainees. It was really selective even at that level. And everybody else had done internships in the hotel. Everybody had like, the family was owning hotels. And I was just walking in there like this tennis coach from Northern Germany, like all tan and just hanging out all day. It's like, okay, cool. It's pretty nice. Never been in such a nice hotel. And at some point, I had to introduce myself. So I wrote a little rap song and I rapped my introduction.
Okay.
So, and I was thinking about, I thought, oh, maybe I should wear my jacket like inside out. It would look really cool if it wasn't the right way around. But I didn't do that. I kept my jacket on normal. I just rapped, and they kind of liked the idea of somebody rapping at an assessment center. And I still have this little rap song in one of my folders. I was just reading it the other day. It's really bad. It's like a bad poem, and I was rapping it. So that was my glorious start into hospitality management. And I went on to study a hotel and got into this really, really selective program where you're supposed to be a general manager in a few years. And I was just working a lot, moving from country to country, and I was really good at what I was doing. And I was just getting, now looking back at it, very addicted to the praise, like to the acknowledgement, and everybody was loving what I was doing. I was working on huge projects and stuff. And one morning, I collapsed at work. So I physically collapsed in the hotel lobby of a five-star hotel, laying on the marble floor, like ripping everything off, my clothes off, because I thought I was going to have a heart attack. and the ambulance came, and it was just like a huge mess in the middle of the lobby. And that was the big turning point for me to kind of think about living a different life. And I was introduced to meditation for the very first time, to yoga.
Yeah.
And so that's how it all got started, and that's how I got into coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you focus on the meditation state, because it helped you so much, or?
Exactly. Yeah. I was on sick leave for 9 or 10 months even after that, and I went to normal psychotherapy, like did all the normal stuff that you're supposed to do when you experience stuff like that, and none of it really worked for me. So what worked most was meditation, building awareness, just general mindfulness, was slowing down, doing yoga, and doing those types of transformative guided meditations. So I was working a lot with that, and over time I was kind of people started asking me, so Jan, you went through this really difficult period in your life, and can you help me? I feel really shitty too. I hate my job, and what would you do? And so I was just kind of combining those things that were helping me, and came up with a new sort of method for the people I just tried it out with. I was just trying it out with different people. So, okay, we want to come by, we can try something. I have no idea if it works or not. And it worked pretty well for those people that contacted me. And I was kind of refining this method and came up with non-blah-blah coaching, because it wasn't about talking all the time. And so today I'm teaching this method to people too. So I have 2 apprentices by now that I'm teaching my non-blah-blah coaching methods to.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I haven't really heard of that approach, but I love it, because you can't find the solution to a problem when you're still in the mindset, in the problem mindset. So you have to change your state, your perspectives in some way. And meditation is a beautiful way of doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And so many things I feel in life aren't really, well, there's always a level of understanding, like building awareness. If you know something is going on, it's no longer the same, right? If you like anything you can observe is no longer yourself, right? You cannot be on the train that is passing by. If you see the train passing by, you know you're not on the train. But there's another thing to it, I find, and this goes a bit beyond thoughts and stuff. It's about vibration and your energetic vibration. So most of the things in life, I guess from my experience, if we're in a certain vibration, if we're feeling well, if we're energized, if we are inspired, then just good things tend to happen.
Yeah.
And that's all kinds of different theories why that happens. But for me, I just experience it in my own life. So I feel just going through different meditations and getting yourself in that state and getting into that higher vibration, things look very differently from that perspective all of a sudden. Where there might have been problems, the opportunities and stuff like that starts to happen.
Yeah. So if somebody who's like, okay, I'm kind of like, I want to try it out, but I'm like, I haven't heard of this. Like, what advice would you give?
Yeah, so like all people I work with, like the first thing I ask, one of the first things after, okay, what's your name? I would ask, okay, have they meditated before? Have they even tried meditation? And what have their experiences been? And many people think meditation is about sitting like a Buddha, like and for hours and hours with a shaved head. But really, meditation can have very different shapes and forms. So I just sent them a few audio recordings of guided meditations. You can go on YouTube and just try out, like type in, 10-minute relaxation meditation or so. And you will find that those things are a lot less serious and a lot less kind of restricted than we sometimes think they are.
Yeah.
So that's how I started with my whole thing. I was just looking on YouTube for little guided meditations and stuff. And if someone wants to try it out, we can also link a meditation to this recording if they want to, because it's a lot less crazy than people might think. So my advice would be just try it out a couple of times, and find somebody who offers those kinds of things. Like go a bit nuts, go out there, because there's so many fun things that people are offering.
Yeah.
In terms of, I was doing the funny things like singing bowl, healing, crystal, whatever kind of stuff that sounds really weird. But once you kind of allow yourself to look into those types of things, they're not as weird as you think they are. They're kind of fun. Just kind of experiment a little bit. Yeah.
That's what I experienced too. Like I also noticed that my preferences shift. So sometimes I feel like, okay, now I want to do this transformational meditation where I really feel things happening, and then sometimes I just want something, like a nice music and grounding. So I do meditate regularly, and I've noticed that playing around with it, you know, it makes it more fun, and you get to, like, you actually want to go sit down and meditate, not just because it's good for you, but it's because it's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about how you made this into a business. Let's transition to the business life of this. How have you set up, like, how have you found, okay, this is what my business is going to be, and how have you found what were your challenges when you were setting up this business?
Yeah, so it wasn't meant to be a business in the beginning. I had a different startup. My girlfriend and I, we started a eco fashion label, so working on this organic fashion company, and I was just a different world, right? Sourcing fabrics made out of seaweed and all kinds of stuff. And at some point I noticed I wasn't really enjoying what I was doing. I loved the vision of it, but I wasn't enjoying the everyday work. So I kind of told my girlfriend, well, I'm not really enjoying this anymore. And I know it's our big vision, it's our dream, but I hate what I'm doing. And it was really tough to admit that. Yeah. And at the same time, kind of parallel to that, I'd noticed I was kind of sharing my experience about my burnout and meditation and coaching people, like a little bit, but not really. And then there was this one moment which was profound for me, when I was speaking with a friend of my girlfriend's, and we had this really deep conversation, and she was in tears, and all of a sudden everything shifted for her. She quit her job, and just like this huge conversation, this huge moment, and it wasn't meant to be that. It was just over coffee. And that afternoon I came home, and me myself, I felt I was in tears. And I was so moved by that experience, because I thought, oh my God, that was awesome. And I was working the startup, which I wasn't enjoying anymore. And then I had that experience. And this one quote came to mind that says, the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. And I was thinking about this. Oh shit!
Goosebumps.
Yeah, me too. I think this is day 2 now. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the second most important day in my life, and you can't go back from that. I had the feeling, okay, I don't really have a choice. Like, even if I didn't want to do coaching, I just found out why I'm here. So yeah, and that's why that was the decision. Okay, I want to make this more regularly. I want to offer this to people. And again, something really spontaneous. I walked by the river Isar in Munich, and I just took out my cell phone, posted a little video. It said, well, my name is Jan, I'm from Munich, and I'm offering 100 sessions with me, 100 conversations. And I don't care what we do during that time. I just want to speak with 100 people. We can talk about anything. We can meditate together. I can share experiences. And so I literally talked with 100 people over the next 3 months. It went really quickly. People contacted me. And some of them just said, yeah, nobody ever posted a video like this. Can we just talk about who you are? That's insane. I said, sure, let's jump on the phone. A few people came by in Munich. One flew in from Norway, and he was in the area, said, yeah, I'm coming to Germany anyway, and I'll come by and let's have breakfast together. Okay, cool. And we had breakfast together. And some of the sessions turned out to be very, very profound coaching sessions. And I was, again, trying my methods, the non-blah-blah coaching, and just fundamental shifts. Like a woman who didn't have any clients all of a sudden got clients with her practice. We were talking about breakups. People were in tears. Like, it was messy. It was really serious stuff going on. I was like, this is awesome. I was enjoying that so much. I was enjoying like having 3 conversations a day or so. I said, this is crazy. I'm doing this, and this is actually happening. And really soon, after maybe 2 weeks or so, the first 2 people said, okay, Jan, this was awesome. What do we do now? Where do we go from here? I said,
yeah.
Do you offer coaching? I said, yep, of course I offer coaching. Of course. And I decided to offer those programs, to say, working for 3 months with me. And it just really grew very organically. So I had my first 2 customers, and they were paying like 2,000 euros right away. So it went from, okay, I want to be a coach. I'm just coaching here and there and just trying it out and deciding to be a coach. All of a sudden I had people paying me a few thousand euros to speak with me on a weekly basis. So that's how it all started, and that's how it's been going ever since. I just put myself out there, I just offer my service, and whoever enjoys it, when I feel it's a good fit, if I feel I can help them, if I enjoy speaking with them, if they enjoy speaking with me and finding it beneficial, we agree to work on a longer basis.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that was a long answer to the quick question. How are you doing this?
Yeah, no, but it's nice to see. What do you think somebody could do? Like, if some, it's like, okay, I think I'm made to do this. Like, how can I? Because for you, the organic growth. Do you have any idea where that might have come from?
Yeah, I feel it's a lot about really being really genuine and very, very authentic with it. If because just from my experience, just imagining, okay, I don't know, I'm on Facebook, I'm online, I'm just seeing an ad somewhere and somebody tells me, okay, I'm I'm the best coach and you need me now, you need to be coached. And like if it comes with a lot of pressure and you're needing this to happen, and it's always the same. If you need stuff to happen, it doesn't happen. It's really weird. But when you're really genuine about it, very honest about it, and if you discover that you're not only in for coaching to have a fancy title, to, I don't know, work only a few hours a day, maybe that's image. I mean, you can't coach 10 hours straight, whereas some other jobs you can do 10 hours straight. Then it might work a little bit for a little while, but usually it doesn't work over a long time.
Yeah.
But if you're really genuine about it, if you think, okay, what can I do to help people? And this might be coaching a few people for free, right? This might be practicing coaching for free. This might be getting up early, or just different things. If you make it about the people, who can I help and what can I do now to impact their lives? I'm sure people are successful with that.
Yeah.
It's really about being genuine about it and coming from a place of, okay, what can I do for them in order compared to how can I make this most beneficial for myself? Yeah. And magically it becomes beneficial for yourself. It just happens all of a sudden without you intending it to happen that way.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So as a tip, as a very, like, something somebody could do right now is, okay, am I really passionate about this? Asking yourself, is this what I want to do? And just putting yourself out there right away, like offering, okay, anybody want to have a conversation, I'm there. And people often say, well, but how do I find clients, right? They want to have clients, and how do I enroll them or whatever? And they're everywhere, right? It's so funny how I come. I was thinking of like a nice story to tell, how I met people that I coached eventually, just random on the street, on the bus. It doesn't mean that you have to put yourself on everybody. It's like, oh, can I coach you? Can I coach you? But there's opportunities everywhere. If it's just a 5-minute conversation or a 2-hour conversation. So many people are intrigued by this work, are interested to change their lives. And just yesterday we had a conversation, my girlfriend and I, with another person. And once we explained what we were doing, it's like, oh my God, yeah, I feel really dissatisfied with my life too, and I'm stressed, and I didn't know there was anything like coaching. So there's a way to cope with it. Most people don't even know that this exists, and they're so grateful that you share what you have to offer. So it's not about trying to sell something to somebody, but most people are really grateful for the services that coaches or healers have to offer.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
it absolutely makes sense.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So let's shift to the conference you're putting together, where you help people with this kind of work. And so tell us more about it. No biz like not soul biz. No biz like soul biz, not soul.
Exactly. Yeah. No biz like soul biz. Yeah. And the name, I just came up with it. I think running or something. Usually good ideas come from running. I was like, no business like soul business. Where did that come from? So okay, cool. Let's take it. And the whole idea is connecting, like, people of our generation in their 20s and 30s or so, connect them from all around the world, all people who kind of feel, okay, I want to do business differently. I have some sort of gift that I want to share. I might be a coach, a yoga teacher, some other teacher, a healer, maybe just a soulful entrepreneur. I would call them somebody who starts a business with a different intention other than just making profit. Profit will be the result of some things, but just, okay, I want to share something cool with the world. I want to help people and show to them how that can be done, because most people think I'm either like woo-woo spiritual and poor or I'm like this capitalist asshole startup guy who is really rich, and but they don't see these worlds being connected. It's like two different worlds. And I'm interviewing 24 really, really inspiring, cool coaches, teachers who have made that happen already. They're all in their 20s and 30s as well. They're really young. They're from all around the world from 4 continents, and they're sharing how they have done it. And they've built like 5 to 7 ventures, 7-figure ventures. So some are making over 1 million, couple of millions, and with coaching, with helping people. And it's super interesting to hear their personal stories, right? They share where they have been, what their struggles were, how they were afraid to go out there, like all the faux pas that happened or whatever, all the personal stuff. And funnily enough, they're sharing lots of really, really personal things. And they mention, I've never shared this before, so why am I talking about this? I said, I know, it's crazy. They're talking about how they were arrested and stuff, and I don't know, how they were doing graffiti, smoking weed, like just really fun things that they share in their personal lives, which is cool to listen to. And everybody shares a like really technical or very lot of education too. So somebody might share, okay, how do you build a website? Like, what kind of website do you need as a coach, or do you need one? Like questions we all have. And next question would be, okay, how do I do an enrollment conversation? How do I have this conversation with a potential client? I want to work with them. It can get really awkward, but how do you do this? Like, what mindset do you have to have? We talk about money in general. What does money mean? People are afraid of earning money, of spending money. We speak about how do I create a group program. Like some people, they go into one-on-one coaching. At one point, they want to do a group program, or yoga teacher wants to do a whole group. We speak with people who have successfully done that before, and they say, okay, these are the steps they would suggest to do. So like everybody shares just some type of their expertise. So it's really fun. There's like fun and inspirational talk, but there's really just stuff. Okay, that's how you do it. I didn't know how to do a program. Now I just follow those steps. Done deal. So that's the whole idea of it. And we're going to go live on September 26th for 9 days. We're going to show all the videos. And yeah, it's a free conference. Everybody can join online.
Yeah, I'm excited. And of course, I'll link to it so people can sign up and experience the goodness. Yeah, I'm super excited. So this is the first time you put together a conference like this, right?
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway so far?
Our biggest takeaway, my biggest takeaway from the conference. It's a lot more fun than I thought. The biggest takeaway really is, the really biggest takeaway that people can use, because it's a lot of fun, right? It's okay, cool, it's a lot of fun for Jan. It really is to get started with things, because I'm again and again in this stage, and it's every few weeks or so I find myself on the stage. I know I should be doing this now in my planning, in my process, and I'm not doing this. I know time is running out, and I just need to commit to start doing it. It's so funny. It sounds so simple, but I experienced for myself. I was in the stage of, okay, I should really contact the experts now, because it's only 4 more months or so, or 5 more months. I really should be doing this now. And the next day, I'm sitting there. Oh, I really should send out some emails. I really should contact all these cool people. And this goes on for a week or two. And then I get started, and all of a sudden it goes really quickly. And things are a lot easier than I thought. And then I have all those experts lined up. I said, I really should start doing the interviews now. They've all committed to be there. I really should do interviews. And this goes on for 1 or 2 weeks. And then I do the first interview, and it's so much fun. It's so cool. And then they go really quickly. And it's again and again. And then I really should put up a website. And then once it's done, it's cool. So it's really just, I guess we all have those fears around starting something, especially things we're excited about, that we think are really cool. We tend to put off. We procrastinate more, I guess. Like, I'd rather take down the trash than do something that's really important to me, right? Because we attach a meaning to what it says about us, because it's so close to our heart. I think part of me thinks I am the conference, right? I'm Jan, the Nobis like Sobis, and if this goes to shit, like, I'm a bad person. So this attachment, identify ourselves with the big projects, and just tricking yourself and getting started is like my biggest advice. It's simple, but it's super powerful for me.
Yeah, that is powerful, and a good reminder for me too.
Yeah.
And not just for me. I'm pretty sure our listeners, our audiences can relate to that. So let's get to our signature question. What would you tell your high school self if you could travel back in time?
Yeah. I would tell him to drink less. It's not good for you. It might be fun at the time, but maybe, yeah. No, that's one of the things I would tell him. Another important thing I would tell is really it's okay to be different than the others. It's okay not to fit in.
Yeah.
And again and again, I'm experiencing this. Most things that I struggle with today are about, okay, I'm different than the others. Do I belong or not? And it's so much about belonging to this, being one of the popular kids or something. Uh, it's okay to be different. And yeah, I think it's the most important thing I would tell myself.
Yeah.
Don't try to be somebody you're not. It's okay to be different. And supporting this, I was just interviewing a really cool guy, Cam Adair, the other day, who's going to be on the conference as well. And he dropped out of high school twice. And he doesn't have a high school degree. He doesn't have a college degree. And by the age of 24, he had a company with 6 employees or so. And he's now traveling the world, speaking about quitting video games, which is a whole different story. But and he shared that there's a story that shows there can make studies where they say those students that don't really fit in well, that don't do things as the others, they kind of question authorities and things, they tend to out-earn the others later in their jobs. So if somebody doesn't believe in being different, usually money kind of triggers something. Oh, okay, so if I make more money, I should be different. So it's there are studies that it's healthy, or it's also financially beneficial to not be like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That is cool.
So if there's any last doubt and you want to make some money, then this is a good study to read. Yeah. But really, in general, it's okay to be different. That'd be what I tell myself in high school.
Yeah. Do you have any tool exercise for people? Like how can I recenter to who I am and not get distracted by what everybody else expects me to be, so not lose yourself? Do you have a favorite tool or something?
Yeah. To me, okay, I like to distinguish usually everything external, right? Everything that people expect of us. Some people might say it's all the ego thing. You want to fit in, you want to be cool and all. It usually is all centered somewhere in your head, right? It's all thought. Okay, if I don't belong, I will be excluded from the tribe, I will starve to death, I will die. And you have all those things that go on. Yeah. And everything that is true to ourselves, from my experience, comes somewhere more from the heart center. It's more around feelings. It's not thought, but it's more feelings. So over the past few months, I've played a lot with the feeling of my heart. And it's really, it's kind of funny to do, but a lot of times during the day, I would just stop and kind of try to breathe and imagine the breath flowing from my nose into my heart. Just imagine, okay, it's flowing there now and flowing back. And then I would just feel, what does it feel like? And usually I know everything that is true, that I believe is true to myself, that corresponds with my deepest values, feels really wide. There's a different feeling to it, and you can play with it. What does it feel like? Let's say I have to be the coolest kid in school, right? And just breathe. To be the coolest kid in school usually doesn't feel cool. No. It doesn't feel like, it feels like, oh my god, it's like feels tight and if you say if you just say something that is true, like I'm good the way I am, which is a true statement, and just breathe in, and it feels wider, right? It feels different, and some people might be connected to that feeling better, or they're used to it more than others. But I practice this again and again, and over the past few months I've paid more and more attention to that, because listening to my heart was kind of just a phrase. Okay, listen to your heart, but you can actually listen to your heart. It's not just a phrase. It's like actually something you can do. Yeah. So this is a super simple thing to do, and I find very powerful once you kind of open yourself to the idea that there's some truth to it. It might sound a bit woo-woo to some, but I feel people, all of you now watching Jenny doing her thing, you might be used to stuff
be a little.
Yes. Right. And but not only doing this like once or twice a month, but making this a habit, like really connecting to that feeling.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love it. Cool. Thank you for your time. I could talk hours about everything you do. I find it all super inspiring, and I'm super excited for the conference and for that coming up soon.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I'll link to all your websites, the conference, make sure people can sign up. And yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jenny. And yeah, anybody having questions about this, you just link my contact details, and
Yes.
no worries to ask.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you. And to our listeners, if you want to join the revolution, come over to Sonection.com, share your story, share your biggest takeaway for this interview. And yeah, I'm excited to connect with you. Thank you. Oops, wrong button.